Watch me, Emmeline Ivy, right here on your News Leader. This video is coming to you through a drone camera. The DOT is training its employees to use drones like this one in emergency situations in case areas like right here in Fox Island flood this spring. For many of us, our phones are an accessory we never leave the house without. This is why Apple and Google will be using our phones for COVID-19 contact tracking. Eggs are flying off the shelves locally, but this is something that's happening nationwide as well. The construction doesn't stop there. Kurt Miller, owner of soon-to-come restaurant Old 10 Bar and Grill. Good evening, I'm Emmeline Ivy in for Jody Kurzman. Happy Independence Day, and thank you all so much for joining us. President Donald Trump kicked off the Independence Day weekend with a visit to Mount Rushmore in South Dakota Friday night. While Jacob is walking in his father's footsteps, he says it would be impossible to fill his dad's shoes. This is where the scene unfolded. Last night, neighbors reported suspicious noises coming from the area. And I've been watching people walk in for the first time since Governor Burgum mandated all high-contact businesses to close. Soon, it will be home to an even bigger retail and professional center. The U.S. is closing its doors to travelers from Brazil, which now has more coronavirus cases than any other country in the world except the U.S. The CARES Act offers people the opportunity to access their retirement funds without penalties in certain situations. We have another busy night of severe weather. A viewer near Clearwater Lake sent this video showing a funnel cloud by the South Dakota border. And in LaFour, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and hail brought down a tree onto this vehicle. And now the severe weather continues. Let's turn it over to meteorologist Emily Hillman with the latest. Emily? At 73 years old, Ken Samborg found out he had less than a 5% chance of surviving after being diagnosed with COVID-19. After almost a month in the hospital, he thought his story might end there. But thanks to the care of his doctors and nurses, his story is far from over, and now it's come full circle. Ken Samborg was enjoying retirement. He had big plans to hit the road in his camper with his wife, listening to songs by John Prine along the way.
One of her bucket list things was she wanted to do the Alcan Highway, all the way from Bismarck to Homer, Alaska.
But then something changed.
I got back from the curling championships out in Laurel, Maryland, started running a temperature and coughing.
Samborg was diagnosed with COVID-19. In the hospital, things spiraled quickly.
Laying there, for maybe seemed like a week or more, very aware of your heart's irregular beats and kind of waiting for him to come in with the paddles. Guess kind of waiting for your heart to stop, thinking, when does it end? I'm not going to make it.
But the nurses were with him every step of the way.
It's so important that you're just in there, being there for them.
The virus took a toll on Samborg's body, but he got news that took a toll on his spirit.
When I was kind of coming out of it all, I learned that John Prine died, and it broke me up. I cried like a baby.
He had his iPhone there, and I YouTubed a song by John Prine, and he sang it to me, so it was a very special moment.
Building a bond until the day Ken recovered enough to be discharged. A day he thought might never come.
It's the richness of friends and family and the caring of others that make our lives worth living. That's the story.
Now, Ken's back at it, planning his road trip. But his return to retirement was interrupted by a little visit from some of his favorite people.
He gets to see us without all of our gear on, so he gets to see our smiles.
I know, I don't even know if he recognized me.
So they could listen to John Prine together one more time.
There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes.
Samborg is now recognizing and supporting those in the community who have made health and safety contributions toward COVID-19. North Dakotans have gathered at the state capitol in a peaceful protest as a push for Governor Doug Burgum to reopen all state businesses.
We got to resist that total shutdown.
A protest created from a Facebook page hosted by Health Freedom North Dakota brought out a large crowd of North Dakotans to the state capitol with a single message.
We need
need our businesses opened up. We need to get back to work. We have kids to feed. We can't wait for checks to come to us.
The demonstration was created to, quote, show Governor Doug Burgum and the nation that North Dakotans want to get back to work. This after Governor Burgum cautioned residents that the worst impacts of COVID-19 are still to come.
We are not far enough down that track to safely lift business closures at this time. As you saw from the numbers today, the numbers continue to climb, and the peak for North Dakota is likely still ahead.
Despite the governor's position, signs, megaphones, and flags line state capitol grounds.
Get back to work.
Many voicing opinions that closures aren't necessary.
It's too much of a hardship to be completely closed down. We're not New York City, we're not California, we don't have a huge population, and even at the worst, should happen in North Dakota, we would not be overflowing with patients in our hospitals.
Yet, local healthcare providers warn the opposite.
If people don't social distance and you have a very rapid rise and spike in cases, the healthcare system will have difficulty accommodating them.
The State Office of Management and Budget, which is the agency in charge of distributing organized protest licenses, says protest organizers placed their requests late. OMB says it wouldn't have been approved even if it was sent on time because all presentations have been shut down on Capitol grounds. However, Highway Patrol says they monitored the protest and allowed it to proceed. Governor Doug Burgum said he would reconsider opening businesses on April 20th, but business closures have been extended until April 30th. In Mandan, in Menokin, in Bismarck, I'm Emmeline Ivy for your News Leader.